angels lift us to a higher frequency, where
Mm-hmm.
that I think is perhaps the greatest measurable difference when you connect with the angels, is your whole vibration. I say it's like going from AM talk radio, where everyone's yelling and screaming and arguing, to satellite and beautiful concerts of harmonious music. Your nervous system relaxes, your defensiveness drops, your heart opens, and your light comes out.
Welcome to the Angelic Frequency Podcast. We are your hosts, Christina Aroche
and Luisa, and today it's a special day, my friends. We were joined by the incredible Sonia Choquette. For those who don't know her, she's a world-renowned spiritual teacher, intuitive guide. She's a New York Times bestselling author. She has over 30 books, including Ask Your Guides and Trust Your Vibes. And for over 4 decades, she's been helping people all around the world connect with their angels and awaken to their intuition. We were so honored to welcome her to the Angelic Frequency Podcast. We are sure you're going to love this conversation. Let's dive in.
Hi, Sonia. We're so excited to have you on. Welcome.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure. I'm really excited to be here.
That's incredible. We're so happy to have you here. And we're just touching on this a little bit ago. I came across your work many, many years ago, and it made such a difference in my life at different crossroads, but particularly postpartum. It was just a wonderful time to rediscover Ask Your Guides. And I must have listened to your Archangel meditation, I think, thousands of times at this point. So it's been a wonderful journey for me. But there's listeners out there who may not be familiar with your work and that are meeting you for the first time. So for them, do you mind describing who you are and your work?
Well, it's kind of a big question. I believe, a catalyst, because I'm more than a teacher. I give more than tools, but I've been activating the spirit in people that has been gaslit and has been denied and has been devalued or in some way banished even. And I help people recognize we are divine spiritual beings. We have a spiritual support system, angels and light beings and guides and nature spirits. We have a whole world that's just as populated in the spirit realm as we do in the physical realm. I've been teaching for over 50 years. I have 32 books. They are in 27 languages. And I have been teaching around the world way before it was popular, just really helping people have the courage and giving them the tools to open the internal frequencies that let them feel loved, supported, guided, helped, connected, and how to maintain that integrity, that wholeness of self and being, when the outer world doesn't necessarily yet fully support that. Now, I will say it's changing rapidly, which is very exciting. Even since post-COVID, the world has come to discover that our 5 senses alone are inadequate to navigate a world that's unpredictable. And so we are forced to go beyond what we've learned and start looking for ways to survive, to be able to live safely and create safety for our family. So our inner senses are now turning on. That's what I've been speaking to and writing to. Honestly, there is no person who's addressed this longer, deeper, and more than me. I've been out there on the front lines, so this time is exciting because people are naturally coming on board. And so I offer the tools, the guidance, and the reassurance to trust your vibes, call on your angels, call on your guides. You are loved, you are helped, and you don't have to struggle for it. You just have to know and sense and recognize that help when it's there. So that's my little spiel about who I am.
That's a big one. Yeah, for sure. You've been doing this work for such a long time. And it's exciting to see how, in this awakening that we're on right now, and how people are being drawn more and more to these topics. So fabulous. Thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah. And I was just going to say, it's probably been amazing for you to witness the shift, like you were speaking to collectively from when you first started to now. And I would love to get into that in a little bit. But first, I want to ask you, because I'm curious, because I've seen kind of two, maybe more than that, but mainly two different, I guess, backgrounds that people have. One is that people are growing up and aware of their spiritual connection and not quite sure what does this mean and all those things. And then there's the group of people who don't really remember as they were growing up, but then later in life it starts to come online. So I would love to hear about what your journey was like when you were growing up. Did you come from a place of being awakened from the beginning, or did that happen to you later?
I came from a culture where the spirit world was the main world. I grew up in a family where my mom was extremely gifted intuitively, psychically. She had been through so much trauma during World War II. She lost her family, she lost her hearing, so my mom was deaf. She was in a prison of war camp. Her spirits and angels and guides helped her survive. She married my father at 15. She came to America. She said I was very blessed because I had no education, meaning no indoctrination. I couldn't hear, so I didn't have to filter out nonsense. And I could only listen to the energy that spoke in my heart and my spirit. And she said, the spirit communicates and takes care of you. It did her. So in my family, the first sense was always the spirit and the unseen world. And I grew up in a family with 7 children, and our mandate from my mom was, no matter what anybody says, no matter what any authority says, go to your heart, talk to the spirit, trust your vibes. You will be helped. You are always helped. I grew up in a family where we set the table, where one place at the table was always for the visiting angel or guide. And we always were honoring that and welcoming the help. So I don't have a day in my consciousness where I ever felt like I was not loved, connected, and supported. I have no experience of that. But I did have experience when I went to school that other people didn't. And that was just mind-boggling for me. Just like, how can you be safe? How can you possibly feel secure in this world? If to me, it was like walking in traffic on a highway at night with no light on. You're just going to get bowled over by the world if you don't have your inner guidance light on. So I began observing people and recognizing the struggle and studying why that was, and how some people had the benefit of that interconnection and others were really taught that their safety was, and their authority was did not belong to them. It belonged to the teachers, the authorities, the boss, the parent. So they were taught to abandon themselves. And these are the people who are stuck in the head and lost and feeling threatened and not secure. But as you say quite accurately, Christina, inevitably, it's such a natural part of us that some crisis, some upset, some challenge, like postpartum, for example, where the outer authorities are useless, our inner self will kick in naturally. And if we just have a little bit of the kind of support you're providing, communication, conversation that validates this, we naturally and can quickly reweave this natural connection back into place.
Yes, I love that. And definitely, I think back to my own journey because I grew up in a family where this wasn't really spoken about. I don't really remember too much as a child in terms of spiritual experiences or intuitive knowing. But exactly like you said, it's almost like as you start to absorb this information, something naturally within starts to kick in. And you saying that just brought me back to that memory of how that started for me. So it's really fascinating how it naturally happens. It's almost like we're equipped for that to happen.
How did it start for you?
Well, for me, it was through first healing through chronic eczema. That was kind of the initiation for me into, okay, Western medicine, and this is not helping me the way that I wanted to. And so it really brought me inward. And then it was a natural seeking. I was seeking information. First, I was nutrition, healing my body. That led me into, oh, wait, there's the universe and there's a God and there's this spirit that we can connect to. That's amazing. I wish I could do that. And then it was breadcrumbs, one thing led to another. And then it led me to the angels and being able to communicate with them. So it was a series over many years, but yeah.
I just love that story because, we have examples in media like movies and that we think that there's going to be a big lightning bolt and then Michael the archangel is going to come in. And so whatever context there might be culturally, socially is very exaggerated. When in fact, as you say, it quite accurately comes in. I always say it's little deals that make a big difference, not big deals that shatter your world. Yes. So I love that exactly what you're saying is how it works.
Yeah.
That is so true. And I grew up in a large spiritual family as well. And it's just part of your day to day. You almost don't recognize it or don't think there's anything different about you because you just assume that's how everyone walks through life. But you said something really interesting about angels and having a place for them at the table. I'm curious particularly about that angelic connection and what role did they play in your childhood and how you were brought up?
It was central to our childhood that we were blessed by having angels and protectors sent by God to watch over us and keep us on our path and protected from any interference. But they were a sacred and honorary guest, and we had to always not take it as like, well, yeah, I have this built-in protection system. In fact, we were taught that we had to be grateful and appreciative and prayerful and creating a space. By creating the space at the table, we created a space in our consciousness and in our hearts and our being to be helped and to expect that help and to have the sense of availability that could be for me, that could be help for me. So part of our daily conversation, my mom would say every morning going out the door to our Catholic school, she would say, expect good things. Your angels go with you. And then when we came home for dinner, the conversation was, what good thing happened today? How did your angels show up? So we were oriented in our awareness to always be sensitive to that. We were supported and helped, but it was an action. It wasn't just an idea. Like, oh, my angels helped me when we were playing on the playground and I didn't get pulverized by the dodgeball, just little things, but we're always being attributed to being protected because your angels are steering you gently instead of, dive bombing into the fun, the dramatic save. So that was how I lived and how I perceived life with my siblings. And our stories were fun and wild and constantly reassuring that it's a good world and we have a beautiful support system that we should be eternally grateful for, vocally grateful for. And I did that with my daughters, and now my granddaughter who's 4 and I've got a 7-month-old. It's a lineage it's one thing to think I have angels, but it's another thing to live and behave with the open availability and the interaction with them day to day. So that's how we did it.
That's so incredible that you're doing that. And the fact that, it's a lineage and how easy it is for the next and the next and the next, and how natural and how much sooner you get to that level of familiarity and just being grateful from the start.
I think the message is, and what I think the message of the angels are using through all of us is that we are loved and safe, and that we are valued and we matter, and that we don't have to live in fear, that we can ask for what we need, and if we listen to our hearts, it will be shown to us. It will be, the path will open, and that we're valuable. Whereas I think culturally, I think that we've been taught through so many layers that something's wrong with us, that we're tainted, we're flawed, we're bad, we're, even in the Catholic Church, the original sin, it's like before you even open your eyes, you're already tainted. So I think the angels are really bombing through right now in waves and waves and waves to say, this fundamental shame that has been cast upon people is we have to speak about how to lift that by letting people know that's not accurate, that we are deeply treasured and loved, that God created us and loves us, and that we really have to share that message so people can not just hear it but believe it.
Yeah.
And these daily interactions integrate that into how I live my life, not just something I hope is true.
That's so important. And I think in my lived experience, there's that barrier when you start working with angels. It's such a safe space. It's so lovely. But also there's that culturally, we've been taught, especially I was raised Catholic. So then there's that, like, they are there. They are so important. So there's a sense of, who am I to be speaking? I'm not going to bother you with my problems. I'm just like here, like, yeah, no, do like solve like hunger and peace and other things. I'm too unimportant to be having an interaction with an angel, to be supported on my, little problems of my little life. So there's such a barrier in that sense. So it's just wonderful to hear how that can be integrated into daily life in such a way that it becomes such a natural relationship.
And a joyful one.
Yeah.
People are fearful right now. They're not just isolated, but they're controlled by fear mongering, and it's not even just that you're having these conversations, it's in the energy field. And angels lift us to a higher frequency, where that I think is perhaps the greatest measurable difference when you connect with the angels, is your whole vibration. I say it's like going from AM talk radio, where everyone's yelling and screaming and arguing, to satellite and beautiful concerts of harmonious music. Your nervous system relaxes, your defensiveness drops, your heart opens, and your light comes out. And that's how our personal lives will heal, and how we become healers, because the vibration we're entering, we can share. It jumps from person to person. It's called effervescence. So if you are if you have the effervescent frequency that you get connected to angels, you spread it, even if you don't say a word, just as you're walking through the grocery store. And that was another thing that I grew up with, is to stay connected to the divine frequencies, because they're contagious, just like negativity. And that you can fulfill a purpose in helping the planet just by going about your day in a light-filled, divinely connected frequency.
Yeah, that's so important. So powerful. And I think that's the key. What you were saying is how it just naturally in our everyday life, like walking through the grocery store, or just being with your kids, or doing whatever you do in your everyday life. It doesn't have to be this big extravagant thing, but just knowing that you, like, who you are, who you're being when you're connected to that energy. And so one question that I have for you, because obviously, we live in this chaotic, crazy world. What's one tool or way that you would suggest for people who can get bogged down by that energy? Because like you said, there's this frequency that exists and that we sense. So what would be something that you recommend for people who maybe are having a hard time? Like, they know, okay, if I connect with my angels or do that, then I'll feel better, but they have this harder time to get there.
Well, very good question. And the first thing I would say is, yes, the world is crazy on that channel, but that's not the only channel to live on. That is like, what you're saying is true, but massively incomplete. There are whole realities of the world that are peaceful, and humans that are peaceful and loving, and more of that. So first, recognize that all this chaos is not all there is. It's just what's capturing your attention. Then I have a tool that can help you change your frequency immediately that I'll walk you through. And the first thing is to look up and look out and notice and name one beautiful thing in front of you. And so what each of you do that. Name one beautiful thing you see right in front of you right now.
I see beautiful clouds.
Okay. And what about for you, Luisa?
Okay, orchids.
Okay, so that brings you out of your head where all the chaos is. You're now getting back into the body, back into the moment. Then I have you breathe in through the nose, just breathing into the belly, and pause. And then I want you to have the intention to empty everything that your mind is holding on to or anything holding on to you with your exhale by breathing, pulling your belly to the spine and exhaling like you're blowing out a candle very slowly. Then pause. Now this time, keep your eyes open because I want you to stay present. Breathe in again. Feel how good it feels just to breathe. And then pause. And then again, empty, blowing out the candle, and let it go just for this moment. And pause. Now, third breath, I want you to imagine you're breathing from your feet into your heart. And pause. Second breath, up to the crown. Now open your jaw like you're going to yawn. And then slide into your heart with a loud sigh. Ah. And then smile. Listen,
So
where's the noise? It's gone. I just took you to a higher frequency.
Yeah.
And then you just see the light coming from your heart, above and below, front and back. Just see a big pop-up tent of light. Keep smiling and get used to it. Your nervous system wants to snap back to chaos. So you just keep breathing and smiling, and that took literally 1 minute and 30 seconds. Yeah. But we're resetting your nervous system and bringing your attention out of your head to the body, to the moment, to the breath, to the heart. Ah. And it's the ah. First, it resets the vagus nerve in the body. So it's the most calming sound you can make, but the ah is what opens the heart where the angel realm exists. So you're just sliding into it. Ah. And smile. So that's a very practical, immediately felt tool.
Yeah.
Can you feel that
really
difference?
That. Yes.
Yeah.
1,000%. Yeah. It feels like whatever thoughts I had kind of here on the outskirts, they're completely gone now. Like
they are gone. And I say it's only chaotic when you're in your head.
Yeah.
So it's always chaotic in your head. So leave it. Come back, look at what's beautiful in front of you, take a breath, empty, and come home. Just come home with the breath. But it has to be a sound. You can't just think, you have to open. If you open the jaw, you'll feel it. Can you feel if you open the jaw really wet? You feel the chakras opening. You feel the throat chakra, the high heart, the heart, all the way to the back. It opens internally. And everything out of the pool.
Yeah.
All the noise goes.
That brought
that
me
is
immediately to ask your guides. I think I've heard you make that sound so many times, and that became such a classic for people just for that. I think, or in my case, the tools, the simplicity of the tools you provide to connect with your guides, to connect with your angels. And out of the head and into your body.
Slide into home. I call this slide home.
Yeah.
And ah is the frequency of the heart chakra. It is the sound of the heart opening. Ah. And the smile pulls the curtains of the heart open. So you literally leave the chaotic frequency of the ego. And the ego is always going to be fearful, competitive, isolated, and disconnected. It's just not it's like an AM radio. It doesn't have the bandwidth to hit the higher notes. So the ego's not the problem. The ego's just limited, and it'll never bring you peace. You have to use your ego to decide where to park the car, what laundry soap to get, or I got to go get the toilet paper. Okay, useful. You're my little servant, but it's not the boss. It's not the leader of your life. It's your spirit, which is then connected to the divine realms that guide you and take care of you and help you.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It was just such a great segue because we talked about raising our energy, raising our vibration, and just getting out of that noisy frequency. So I wanted to add, and that's exactly when you can tune inward and when you can listen to your own voice. So I wanted to take a moment to talk about Trust Your Vibes. That's such a beautiful book, and just especially around that and how tuning into our intuition and going inward and listening to our own voice. Can you help us talk about the book a little bit, generally speaking, but also discerning between intuition and fear for people who are just starting to trust that intuitive guidance that they receive?
It's a very good question. And especially the word you used is the key word, discernment. We lack discernment generally. We just are taking things on without actually paying attention to the frequency, the feeling, the impact, certain thoughts, feelings, ideas, flashes come through. And intuition means inner teacher. Your inner guide has its own signature, its own frequency. It puts you in a state of coherence. You feel congruent. It leaves you feeling calm, even if the information is not what you want to hear. So when you are in fear, the frequency of fear is very contracting. You get guarded, you hold your breath, it jumps around like a chaotic thought form. It doesn't stay steady. It drains you. And so intuition will never do that. Intuition will steady you. It will quiet the brain. It will surprise you. It'll be something that you normally would not necessarily think or feel as a priority feeling. It is in the body. It's not in the head. Fear is in the head and it grips the throat, sometimes the gut. So they have very different effects on you, very different and palpable, identifiable effects. Intuition will never take your breath away. Intuition will never contract you. Actually, it's the same frequency as the ah. It actually causes you to relax and open up because your inner guidance communicates your truth, not the truth. Everybody has their own path and their own truth. So it's what feels true for you in this moment. So it's like tuning a piano. It's like tuning fork. This feels like this is my frequency. I'm now coherent and I am consequently at ease. When it's emotion or judgment or wishful thinking, it has a very different effect on your body. 1, it takes your breath away. 2, it leaves you guarded. 3, it leaves you agitated and reactive. So if you can just take a moment to discern, is this intuition or is this wishful thinking or emotion or reactivity? Just say out loud, my heart says. Put your hand on your heart and say out loud, my heart says. Now, what I'd like to do is demonstrate that rather than just tell your listeners. So do either of you have a question where you'd like to tune into your intuition?
Yeah, I have a big life decision to make in the next little bit. There's
now I have to ask you, are you really available? Because I'm putting you on the spot here. I might be catching you off guard. I want you to be 100% comfortable to share this experience with us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so first I always say pose the inquiry. What's the big life decision you're facing?
I'm at a crossroads and I am either gonna pursue spiritual pursuits or I keep on the safe path and pursue a corporate career. Keep pursuing a corporate career.
Okay.
I'm just
So the question is, which path is best for my highest good in all areas of my life? Is that a good way to pose that?
yeah.
Okay. So here's a process any one of your listeners can do, and it'll be very effective. So first, step 1, empty the garbage. So fill in the blank quickly. My head says
Safety,
my head says,
lack.
and you're taking too long. That's control. My head says, quickly, my head says, as if it's advising you. My head says,
Go for it.
my head says, that's your head. Go
That's
for your
my head.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Okay.
all my head. My
Okay.
head feels...
And Luisa, keep your eyes open. Because every time you go in closed eyes, you're going into the past, you're going into your head, and you're leaving us. You're going down the black hole. So my head says, okay, the question is, which is my path to my highest good? My head says this. My head says this.
My heart speaking louder than my head. That's my problem.
We'll get to your heart. It's not a problem. But that heart, there's a battle going on. And it could be my head says this. It's just struggle.
Yeah.
Okay. So my head says just struggle. My head says pull back. Take a breath. Take a breath. Keep your eyes open. Keep your eyes open. See, this is the key. Everybody thinks you have to close your eyes and go away, but actually that doesn't help. Because when you keep your eyes open, you stay present. Tell me one thing you see right in front of you. Just one specific thing. Look around the room. Tell me one thing.
My dog.
Okay. Take a breath. Keep your eyes open. Now, tell me another thing you see right in front of you.
An apple.
Okay. Take another breath. Come back to the question. I'm going to ask you something very important. Do you really want guidance?
Yeah, I know. I think I have it. I think I know. That's the problem.
That didn't answer it.
Yes.
That's your ego staying in control. That is the ego. It's very tricky. It's going to try every which way to stay in control. Do you really want?
Yes.
Are you truly available to guidance? And this doesn't mean an outside force controlling you. It means an inner force taking over.
Yes.
Okay. Put your hand on your heart. Eyes open. My spirit says.
Let go.
And my spirit says.
Let go.
Nope, that's not enough, Luisa. I'm going to pull it out of you. That's your ego stopping again. My spirit says, you don't have to do what your spirit says. You're not obligated. Hey, let it speak. Let it speak. My spirit says,
trust.
What? My spirit says, come on, open that throat chakra.
Your intuition.
Keep going. Keep going. You're too vague. Keep going. Keep going.
Go for it.
Go for what? Go for what?
Your spiritual path. Trust that is going to unravel how it's supposed to, and trust that life's going to figure out a way and you're safe.
Okay. Now, can you feel how your ego and your heart are fighting?
So, yes, every second.
Because we're seeing it. Can you see it?
Yes, we saw it.
I adore you because this is how it works. Your ego's fighting for control. So it's going to let you speak a little and stop. Speak a little, be vague, be vague, be vague. Because then you can stay in a place of not present, not committed, not empowered. Yeah. But if your spirit could speak freely and you had no obligation to listen, what would your spirit say? Because it's going to say more than those 3 words.
Yeah, it's going to say a lot more. Yeah.
Yeah, let it. You can ignore it.
Yeah.
You can totally ignore it.
I'm afraid I can't anymore. That's the thing. When you let spirit speak.
The truth is, why would you ignore yourself? Well, here's what I love, and I really appreciate putting you on the hot seat. Your ego is saying, if I let my spirit speak, I can't return and it might not be safe. And oh my God, what am I going to do then? I'm going to be out spiritually speaking and I can't pay my bills and I can't have a predictable life. And that's the gaslighting.
Yeah.
So here's the answer. It's too big a question right now. You're not ready to answer that question. So let's just let's just go a little bit more immediate. Let's just say, okay, Spirit, that threatens me. I don't feel ready to make that leap into the void. No judgment. How can I best follow my spiritual calling without scaring myself? I would say that would be your next question.
Yes.
And your spirit says,
keep doing what makes you happy.
now, do you notice, look at her face. Is it entirely different? Do you feel it? It's obvious.
Yeah,
you
that wasn't
see,
scary.
that wasn't a threat. That was like, so we don't have to jump into the all or nothing.
Yeah.
This was perfect because anybody watching this can see visually that you felt safer to go with your spirit in bite sizes. This is not the moment to ask all or nothing. It's the moment to develop the spiritual path a little further so you feel more sure-footed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Does that feel true?
That feels very true. Yes. Yes.
Did you get your answer?
I definitely did. Yeah. Yeah.
Do you think she got her answer, Christina? Did you see it?
I saw it. Yeah, that was amazing.
And I appreciate you going through this with me because this is the battle of what's going to control me. My ego, which says, if you don't listen to me, you're not safe, versus my spirit, which says, which your ego has told you is going to harm you, not take care of you, not be real. It's not true. So you say, okay, well, what do I do right now? Let's not go to the big. Let's just do next. Let your guides and angels guide you to the next step. And then the next one and the next one.
And that's what they've been doing for a while now. And so far
it works
wonderfully. Yeah, exactly. Once time and here we are talking to you today. So it definitely works. But yeah, maybe that was a bigger question.
And I do think what we just did is extremely valuable because this is how it actually you go through the process to start working with your inner guidance versus being up in your head with the angels. Let's put it into the way your life unfolds today.
Yeah.
So if you're asking for guidance, then it's bigger than you're available to, then just ask for something more immediate.
That's so true and so useful for our listeners. Thank you so much for making me, I feel so grateful that I did that.
Actually, I want to thank you because you were very brave to put yourself in this position, and you really helped us by watching this process.
Yeah. Well, that was incredible. Thank you so much.
That was amazing to witness. And also just want to say, Luisa, thank you for volunteering and putting yourself out there.
Always.
Well, and here's the most important thing. When you started connecting with your guidance, your whole face changed.
Yeah.
The light came. Did you feel it?
I did. Yeah.
You feel it and it's obvious. So you're not guessing. It's obvious.
Yeah.
And it makes so exciting.
Going through it, and what you described at the beginning of our conversation, when it's not intuition, when it's ego, it feels scattered. It's going back and forth. There's a lot of chat. What's the right answer? And there's just like a lot of filtering through what's coming in.
I call it chasing mice. It is. It's like chasing mice.
Yeah.
There. It's exhausting.
It's exhausting. And then when you just let go, it's just also the simplest answer too. I find when it's intuition coming through, is just simple.
Yeah.
It's very, very simple.
But your body is going to be your litmus test. If it's spirit, your body changes.
Your body changes. Yeah.
And
I could feel like here, like, tightness here. And then when I let go, then it was just,
It's the aha.
Is it aha?
So it's really not, I'm not asking people to just blindly believe we have angels. I'm actually very committed to turning on the connection and having you directly experience it. So you don't have to believe me. I don't want to be the next outside authority. I want you to believe yourself.
Yeah.
Connect.
That was so
And so this is
wonderful. And
how it looks.
I feel like
How we tune in.
I was going to say, I feel like for me, the thing that I notice is, like you were saying, when it's too big of a question and it seems like our ego is afraid of the answer that spirit's going to bring. So it immediately jumps into protect. But then when it's a smaller question, it's kind of like, okay, I feel safe
Right.
to lean in and to have that as a next step, because I think that's where people get stuck sometimes is I'm not getting the answer to the big question.
It's
So now I
so
don't know what to
important,
do.
Christina. And let's not get mad at our ego. Our instinct is survival. Our instinct is survival. So the ego's tied into survival. And if it's too big, we're going to get overwhelmed. So just ask the next step, the bite sizes, and it will take care of itself. We don't have to throw ourselves into a threatening position.
Yeah.
And if it feels too big, you're going to pull back. You're not ready to make that choice. There's not yes or no. There's also, I say there's red light, absolutely not, guidance. There's green light, go for it, guidance. And then there's pause.
Mm.
We need to develop something a little more here.
Yeah.
And that's the answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give this a little bit more time, because the other thing is ego is black and white, all or nothing. And the spirit is no, there's 19 solutions. There's many ways. And we flow with life and unfold with it gracefully.
Let life unfold. I think that's the biggest lesson of spirit.
The thing is this, clearly, and now this is where I'll be coming in from the outside, you've made your decision. I am going to go on a spiritual path. It will leave a traditional corporate setting, but it's not something to do today. I'm building the path that I'm going to take. I'm building the path, and I need to do that for a while.
Yeah.
That's the answer.
That's the answer.
Mm-hmm.
We're building the path. There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
And that's, I think, important. Pardon me, go ahead.
No, it's okay. I was just going to say something else that I think was important too, that came through when Luisa said, follow what makes you happy, and that following the joy and following the play. And I know that that's something that comes through often. And so would you say, Sonia, that when it comes to the guidance that comes through from angels and from our heart, from our intuition, that it often is what does bring you joy? You know, that is the guidance, or are there other?
Yes, and here's what people need to know. We have been indoctrinated to believe what brings us joy is worthless, that we have to suffer and struggle to be secure in the world, and that what brings you joy, it's like recessed, dismissed. Anything that brings you joy has been devalued. So the angels are saying, no, that's your superpower. That's your gold. That's what will, and that's what will take care of you physically, materially, keep you comfortable, keep the heat on, keep the food in, keep what your needs met. And the angels are telling us we've been gaslit. And this bringing you joy, people, because I've been talking to people for years, and they'll say, yeah, but I live in the real world. It's like, well, the real world, if it's joyless, will make you sick, will make you angry, will erode your relationships, will cause your work experience to diminish. You won't be successful. You will get into fights. You'll end up isolated. And that real world is not a good creation. If you show up in joy, you're still producing something worthwhile. You're still contributing to the human spirit and the way the general community of life. If you bring joy, then you will be the attraction magnet. You will be, people want that. They'll trust you. They'll invest in you. They'll believe you. They'll want to participate with you. And that is the message the two of you are really need to broadcast. This is so important, because the messages that we're fighting are the ones that have brought our world to the condition it is in now. You're the solution.
Thank you.
And it is a joyful solution.
It is a joyful solution. Absolutely. You're such a wonderful teacher. It's just looking at just these dynamic life, seeing this life and how you do that, and you do this, and how you take us on those journeys through your books, your workshops, everything that you do. is there anything you've done so much? I mean, 30 something books, you're doing a different workshop and a different conference all the time. If you would look back at your work, what are you most proud of?
Believe it or not, I wrote a book called The Intuitive Spark, which is about bringing this message into your families with your children and having your life centered around this. That is the book I think is the most important one. The other books, Trust Your Vibes, Ask Your Guides, are books that are remedial. They bring you back to what you lost, where the Intuitive Spark sets the course from the beginning. Even if you don't have children, you should read that because it reparents and it re-empowers your inner child, which is the one that gets scared and wants to feel secure and doesn't feel capable of taking on all that responsibility. And the other thing I'm most proud of is that I never, ever got detoured or gave up, even though it was mostly a hostile field for the longest time.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, you've been doing this for so long. You're right. You were on your own for a very long time until the rest of the world sort of catch on to what you were talking.
I would say the majority of my path, I was dismissed, called crazy, cuckoo, weirdo, nuts, Satan. I mean, and I just ignored it.
Yeah.
I just ignored it. So I'd say my tenacity, the fact that I just stayed, I just trusted that this was my mission and this was important. And now, it's like when you move out in the country and everybody says, what are you doing way out there? Life is over here. And then 30 years later, life moves. And now what was the country is like, the middle of suburbia, or now it's built up to a big city. It's like the world caught up. And now I'm so excited about where we are right now because people are listening.
Yeah.
And they are receptive. And the messages you're bringing to the world are landing. Where for me, many years they bounced off. Now they're landing. And so I'm excited for you.
Thank you. It's amazing. And I just want to say also thank you to you that you kept pursuing and you kept going and that you never gave up. And, it's just really beautiful to be able to witness you here with us and through your books and sharing all of that. It's just, it's so beautiful and so inspirational too, of keep going. Don't stop. If you have that calling, you have to keep going.
Just keep going. If I'm going to give a message to anyone, believe in yourself. Don't try to find it with your eyes closed in your head. That's a bad neighborhood. You won't find your answers there. Get in your body, open your eyes, see the beauty, look for the beauty around you.
Yeah.
Go to your breath, empty the garbage, empty, exhale, listen, feel if that vibration resonates, and take it step by step. That's all you have to do. The rest will take care of itself.
That's something that for me, something new that I learned today is keep your eyes open and look at something rather than close your eyes. I tend to do that, closing my eyes.
I go in all the time. Yeah.
No, that is the pulling back from the external, keeping your eyes open and bringing your spirit forward. Then you have the power.
Yeah.
You're not in retreat. You're in step forward. And that's the power.
That's so interesting.
Total game changer.
It was for me. It just what we just did right now, and just forcing
and it was visible.
And it's difficult.
It's different. It's not that difficult. If you say it's difficult, you set yourself up. You say it's different, then it becomes curious. Okay.
Yeah. We're definitely going to start trying that out from now on.
Yeah.
Now that we're looking back, if you could speak to younger Sonia when you were just starting out, what would you say?
I'm really proud of you. You have a lot of courage, and you've really had a positive effect. So just feel good about all those difficulties, and just know you stayed true to yourself and true to the cause you committed to in this lifetime. And this world is a beautiful world, and don't let anyone tell you differently.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I love that. Thank you. So for anyone who is wanting to dive into your teachings, is there any place that you would recommend that they start? Any particular book? Where
I
should
would
people get
say
started?
two things. One, I think there are two books to read, or if you're not a reader, listen to them. Trust your vibes and ask your guides so that you understand who you are. And this thing is popping out. So you understand who you are and what's available. But that's not going to necessarily make the difference. I would also have you look at joining my community, which is called the Good Vibes Tribe, which we have created an environment where you can practice. And I talk with you every day, and I take you through my courses rather than just read the books. I come on and we walk step by step 3 times a year. I channel my guides on 1 week. My daughters come on with family and community and play and wellness and business and the things that is life, so that and the place where you can talk with each other so you don't feel isolated. So if you want the experience of living a guided life, then I'd say one other very easy thing is listen to my own podcast called It's All Related, which is super fun. And it's with my daughters, and it's about how we live day to day to day with angels and with guides and with higher self and with life's problems. So all of those are very easy and accessible ways to investigate your own possibilities as a divine being in a very fun way.
I absolutely love the podcast. It kept me company for the longest time. I had a pandemic baby. I was postpartum, all the things. So that podcast was just amazing and sort of modeling what I imagine my life with my daughter and how to model those things for her in day-to-day life. So it's just such a beautiful space for anyone who hasn't subscribed or who doesn't listen. I highly recommend it. And
Thank
this
you.
community sounds amazing. We need that connection.
I have been guided to put on this community. It's a brand new community. I just re-envisioned it, where it is a place where you actually, I think the world is, and I think younger people especially, are information saturated. And you get all this spiritual information that there's no place to integrate it, to communicate with others. And so it's almost, I call it information constipation, even if it is spiritual. Whereas in the Good Vibes Tribe, it's a place where you can gently interact with others and practice and not feel scared and have community. I have something called the Vibe Lounge where you can go. I have a prayer circle. I have prayers. And it's really simple, so that you come every day for 10 minutes. You're connected to yourself, to others, to the planet, to the angels, to life. You're learning a new way. As I'm not here to give you more information. I'm here to give you practice and activation.
I love that. I think that's so important. Like you said, again, it's using the mind. If you're just taking information in, it stays up here. We need to integrate it. So,
yes.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited to see what you're doing. I'm really thrilled that you're normalizing to people that we're moms, we work, we have jobs, and we're not woo-woo, and we're not behaving in strange ways. We are grounded, and we are building lives that are very peaceful. So we are the change. As like Gandhi said, be the change you want the world to have. You are doing that. And I feel like every bit of us putting this out there and modeling it is affecting so much more than we could ever know. Absolutely.
1,000%.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, that's a beautiful note to wrap.
Yes. Yes. Thank you so much. What an honor to be here. And again, thank you both. You gave me examples. You walked through the process. That takes a lot of courage to be open and transparent. And the way to the spiritual higher realms is messy. It's not a neat transition. It's a messy detective process.
Yeah,
But you can trust yourself if you give yourself a chance.
absolutely. Yes. Thank you so much for the beautiful conversation, the guidance, walking us through and helping us to experience it in real time. This was so valuable, so beautiful, and just incredible. So thank you.
It's my pleasure. Carry on. We're doing it. We're doing it together.
Yeah.
Okay.
We are.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Amazing. Thank you.
All my love, guys.
Bye.